Hey, welcome to my shop. This week on the bench, I've got something really cool. This is going to be a challenge project for sure for me because I've never done anything like this. But this is a vintage Craftsman air compressor. You can see the cord on it's just in terrible shape. It's rusty. I believe this is aluminum though. I'm not sure the vintage, the year of this. It's got the long C. I'm guessing at least 1950s, maybe older. I'll do some research as I take it apart and go along, and hopefully by the end of the video we'll have figured out what year this is from. Well, when you hear that first pop, it's like music to your ears. I only got two left on the top assembly. Let's see if these are ready to cooperate. Nope. That one is. All right, there's the motor. It's funny what you find in some of these things. Look at all these spider eggs or eggs, whatever they are right there. There's bird feathers back here. I mean, this thing was probably sitting in a barn or an open shop, but I'm really struggling to get this one, and I'm not sure I want to put a lot of heat on this thing, but I may not have a choice. Did it move? It did. There we go. Success. I can see this flexing a little bit, so I want to be careful I don't break it. There we go. There we go. It just needs a little help. There we go. All right, so this piece is, I've taken this as far as I can, as far as disassembly. This piece here, top cover, I'm not going to try and remove that. I'm afraid it may be brazed or soldered in there. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do about the gasket yet. Unfortunately, this part of the gasket is still stuck to the cylinder head, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that yet. As of right now, I have pretty high hopes this thing will work. When I turn the wheel here, you can hear this This is a thin sheet of metal sitting over a hole of Venturi. I'm not sure what you call these. Again, don't know a whole lot about them, but you can hear the air moving. There. All right, so the gasket's trashed. That's okay. I'll tell you what, this thing looks so good in here. I'm not going to go any further than this. Of course, I'll clean this up. Always exciting to open the Evaporust container and see what it looked like. So I've had the base soaking in here for almost 48 hours. We'll see what it looks like. Oh wow, did an excellent job. Took some of the paint off, which is good. I guess the guy who invented this stuff sitting on a nice sunny beach somewhere. Good for him. I cut the little rubber vibration feet off the bottom. This one just kind of tore off, actually. Here we go. All right, cool. I got my plan in place for my feet here. So I did go to Home Depot and get some bigger stoppers. And I took the original ones that I bought and I sliced about 3/16 of an inch off. And that's going to be a spacer that'll get these up to the height that I need them to. So now I just have to drill the 1/4 inch hole all the way through. And I think this is going to be a 5/8 hole that will accommodate this steel washer and the bolt that goes down through. But before I do all that, I want to go ahead and get paint on the bottom because I don't want to have to tape these off and paint around them. And I can't paint the top yet. This is where I had the rust fix put on it. I can't paint the top yet because I'm going to be cutting these screws off and sanding them flush. So I'll wait and do that after I get all that put in. So the next step is going to be to get tapped for the 1/4 20. I'm going to go ahead and glue the spacers that I cut onto the feet. All right, there it is with the screw and the washer in it. That's in focus. That's going to work out good, I think. Let's see, 1/4 20. 1 inch and a half. This is the instruction plate that was mounted on the base, and I cleaned it up the best I could. It was in terrible shape, but I just gave it a couple coats of black, and now I'm coming back and I'm trying to sand off the highlights, the high spots, which is all the lettering, which is cool because this is the instructions on how to use the compressor. So I'm not going to be able to get it all off because it's so shallow, but I'll make it look the best I can. Here's the data plate. Came out about as good as I could get it. Spray painted it black, then did my best to sand off the top of the lettering, but these letters are so shallow. I didn't want to take it any further than that. So I've got to get this put back on. Yeah, that should work, and it kind of looks factory. Cool. And here's the cylinder head after cleaning. I've got some grease down in here I've got to scratch out before I can finish cleaning. But the first thing I want to do is get some oil on the cylinder wall. This is the oil sump, I guess. I've had this oil dry material sitting in here for a day or two. So I'm going to clean that out and get this in the ultrasonic cleaner. Not only did the ultrasonic cleaner get most of the old oil and grease off, but it took the paint off too, which is cool. All right, everything's done with the sandblasting. I'm just going to do some final touch up, sanding with some 220, and then I'm going to start getting some paint on this. I'm going to plug as many of these threaded holes throughout the project as I can. For ones about this size, find these little disposable earplugs work really well. Just going to give everything a quick light sanding with some 600 grit. All right, I had to do a little reworking on these two pieces here, and I know I'm not the best painter in the world, but I'm gonna tell you why. I ran out of the original can of Regal Red spray paint that I had, and I went to the home center to get more, and all they have now are the ones with these adjustable nozzles. And like an idiot, I wanted it on 2, which is standard output. So for some reason, I lined the 2 up down there when it should have been up here. So what I was actually doing was spraying on 5, which is a horizontal fan. And when I went across, I was spraying, the fan this way, and it dumped paint all over this one. I had a really bad run. And on this one, I had just complete orange peel on this side for some reason. I guess I had some contaminant on there. So anyway, I gave the whole piece a sand with 320. We'll get another coat on it in a minute. Come on, it was that easy. All right, I'm ready for reassembly. I've got all my little parts cleaned up, ready to go. Got my gaskets cut. Got all the tape and plugs taken off these pieces. Went ahead and cleaned this shaft up as well. So this gasket here was the one that tore during disassembly. So I am going to put just a little bit of the Permatex gasket maker material over the brake and hope that that seals it. I just realized I forgot this rubber gasket that goes here. So these bolts here, I just cleaned them up and blued them. Obviously polished the brass, These fittings here I just cleaned up real good. All right, this filter goes back in here. I'm going to get the drain plug in and the oil fill. I can only turn this so much by hand, but if I put pressure on this, you can hear the air. So it's definitely pumping air. Hey, I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I enjoyed restoring this old Craftsman air compressor. This is a portable model, I think from the 1940s or 50s, and this is a two-part video. So this is part one, restoration of the compressor and the base. And next week, come back and you'll see me restore the motor and hopefully get this thing working. To be sure you don't miss it, go ahead and subscribe to my channel and hit that bell icon so you get notified when the next video is out. Thanks again, appreciate you watching, and we'll see you on the next one.